Welcome to this first in a series of screencasts on obtaining and manipulating real-world microdata. These screencasts are keyed to statistics and economics courses at Wabash College, but they should prove useful to others as well. In this first screencast, we'll introduce you to one of the most important sources of microdata, IPUMS, which is the Integrated Public Use Microdata Series that's produced and maintained by the Minnesota Population Center. Because it is so well organized, and because IPUMS contains very important data sets, it is a great place to start in learning about how to download and manipulate microdata. IPUMS maintains a variety of data sets. We're going to concentrate on the current population survey for now. The first step with IPUMS is obtaining an account. This is pretty simple. The key things to note are that you need to give IPUMS your email address, and you will also need to construct a password. That password should be easy to remember and doesn't have to be super secure. To get a password and an account, go to the login page and select Request an Account. Let's go back to Home and learn more about the data in IPUMS CPS. There's lots of information in the documentation page and in frequently asked questions. For now, let me just note that the current population survey is a monthly survey that began in 1940 and was designed to collect information on the labor force, specifically to accurately measure the unemployment rate. About 70,000 households are in the survey each month nowadays, with that number rising to 90,000 for the March survey, which asks more questions than the usual monthly surveys. Let's take a first look at the most important variables in the data set. Go to Browse and select Data, and we'll look at the person level. Let's go to Core Demographic. On this screen, you can see several different things. First of all, Add to Cart. Second, the name of variables. Third, the variable label, which tells you something about it. The type, which is person in each of these cases. Codes, which will give us more information. And a list of the samples. For now, I've selected March 2012, but we'll come back to that. Let's click on Age to get some more information. At this screen, there are several tabs which are going to be helpful to us. The description is pretty straightforward. It's the person's age at the last birthday. Comparability tells us, first of all, that this variable is comparable with IPUMS USA, which is another very valuable data source. But it also tells us a couple things that we need to note. First, that there's something called top coding. We'll come back to that in a moment. Second, and this is somewhat troubling, is that there may be inaccurate age values for recent years. Let's skip over that for now. Go to Universe. Universe is an important issue. In this case, not really, because age is asked of everybody. But Universe answers the question, for whom do we have information on this particular variable? So, for example, hourly earnings. The universe there is people who are working and who are paid by the hour. If you're paid on a salary, or if you're not in the labor force at all, you're not in the universe for that question. And really, we should code those individuals as having missing variables for the variable hourly wage. Codes. Well, here we learn about top codes. From 2004 onward, older people are listed as either being 80 years old, if they're the 80 to 84 range, or as 85 if they're over 85, actually over 84. This is presumably to protect people's privacy. Availability. This variable is available for actually every CPS, which is in the IPUMS database. There are the March CPSs for between 1962 and 1993, all the monthly, including March, CPSs for 1994 to 2010, and the last 2 years, just the March CPS. I'm recording this in 2013. Flags. Turns out that in some cases, the current population survey guesses about people's age, and that's what you would discover if you clicked on Q Age. Skip over that for now. We can go back to our original screen by going to Core Demographic for person, or by clicking on the home page, browse and select data, person, core demographic. You can always get back to where you need to be. Let's choose age and sex, and in the next screencast, we'll talk about how we actually select the samples and download the data. But that's it for now. You've been given an introduction to IPUMS, how to obtain an account for IPUMS, and finally the beginning of how to select variables for IPUMS. Come back for the next screencast.